Yeah. Welcome on to ZKM Sports Talk once again. It has been a week since we last did our last podcast, and it's been 2 weeks since we did this kind of one where it's not the power rankings. So, what we did was we looked at our old footage from when we first started doing the podcast sports talk thing, and Zach, myself, and Mike when projected what each team's going to do throughout the whole season, and we are doing right now the worst teams until 2 weeks from now, and then we'll do the middle teams, and then the top 10 teams, and 4 more weeks from now.
I just wanted to point out, look at how favorite you have all of those teams so far.
I know, right?
How what now?
Starting with the Hawks,
Right.
he's got them all the way up to 35 wins and 34 wins and then 36 wins.
Yeah, boy. Kyle had a
He
very
had some faith in teams.
optimistic. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, my lowest one was the
Well, the
Nets.
You got them at
Oh my
22.
gosh, look at the Mavericks.
40, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. We had some optimistic views on some of these teams, yeah. Well, at least Kyle did.
Alright, let's start with the top.
Yeah. Hawks.
So, the Hawks, if they win... Well,
They played 40.
do we want to double the total
Wins?
or half of what we said? Let's half what we said because ours equals 82. So Kyle said that they would be 17 and 23 right now.
okay.
So
I see
that,
what you're- yeah, I
that
see
was
what you're
a
saying.
little bit high.
Yeah.
Zach said
Oh.
12
Yeah.
and 27. 28.
12 to 28.
12 to 28. So that's not bad.
No.
Mike
really close.
said 15 and 26.
So,
So a little positive,
yeah.
but still pretty close.
Yeah.
A lot closer than Cat.
They've been very disappointing,
Very
to
disappointing.
say the least.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't think that they were going to come out
Yep.
and be spectacular, obviously. Only 25, 30
Yeah.
wins, 35 for some, cough, cough.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think they were going to be the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
After
The worst, yep.
Doing okay.
Yeah, Dennis Schroeder just
He
hasn't been.
He hasn't played nearly as
He
well.
can't carry a
Yep.
team. He can't carry a team.
And what's so bad about what you just mentioned is that they got rid of Jeff Teague.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of pretty much the whole team to go make it where Dennis Schroeder is the player, and he just can't
can't
bring
do it.
these teams to win. His team to win. They've lost to the Nets several times. They beat the Nets several times. They came close in several games, like the Celtics. They came really close to winning.
Yeah.
There's several games, but they're only 12 and 31. 31 losses on the season. I mean,
yeah.
if you look at it, on the bottom 10 teams right here, they're all in the 20s range of losses, 20s and 30s. The teams after the Hornets that we'll do in 2 weeks, they're going to probably be in the low 20s, even maybe in the teens,
yeah.
early or mid-teens. So that's
The bottom
totally
10
different.
The bottom 10 is the
The bottom 10, yep.
I'm pretty sure most of the middle is in that 20 to 24 range.
Yeah.
Everybody is so close in the middle.
They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's think. Who are some of the players on the Hawks? Schroeder,
John Collins.
Collins.
Yeah. Well, I know them just as they're not worth mentioning, really.
Who's
Bellinelli,
Bellinelli.
Turian Prince, Kent Bazemore.
I mean, and we say this, and they just beat the Spurs the other day, which is kind of funny.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Maybe this. Yep.
But what's his face wasn't there again? Leonard.
Yeah, Leonard wasn't there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they got Dwayne Dedman back, so that is a pretty big center for them to get back.
He
They're
ended up with a double-double.
yep.
Yeah.
And they're talking of him getting traded with Kent
really?
Bazemore.
Oh, really?
Yep. They're talking, like, trying to get a first-round pick for Bazemore and Dedman. They're trying to put a package for a first-round pick, so that way he can get further into the rebuild.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so what's weird is that they're getting rid of a center, but they're projected for the team. They're projected for a prospect for the NBA draft is to get another center.
Oh.
Which, I mean, it doesn't...
Yeah.
It's not terrible, because Because Dedman's ceiling
is dead. He's in his 30s, I think, now.
He's probably close, at least.
Yep.
So he doesn't
he's never going to be a great player. No.
That's another thing. Before we continue with this, I like to go and... probably after we do these 30 teams of what we had for the projection is I like to go and maybe do NBA prospect for the NBA draft, and towards the end of the year we can get closer to that. We'll go and do prospects and research and like that.
Who these teams need.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the Orlando Magic, 12-31. I said they were going to be 17-24. Zach said 14-27.
That's pretty good.
That's really close. Mike said 13-28. That's pretty close.
We didn't have a lot of faith in the Magic, did we?
I mean, and for them coming out and starting the season 9-1, 9-2, whatever they did, that's just ridiculous how the record is now. And,
they've only won 3 games.
Yep.
And lost 30.
Last time I looked at the standings, they've lost 7 in a row, the Magic. I mean, I was hoping Vogel could turn this team around. And they're talking Elfrid Payton, Mario Hezonja, and Evan Fournier are all on the trade block now. They're shopping them, trying to get something to make it where they can turn their season around, just turn their franchise around. Because again, I feel sorry for Vogel. He comes into a team that has always been awful.
There's a guy that's out for the year now. They got hurt, or somebody got hurt that was one of their top, not Gordon. They had somebody that was pretty decent. I thought got hurt.
Oh, Vucevic.
Yeah, Vucevic.
Yeah, Vucevic.
So
yeah,
that definitely.
Then Jonathan Isaac was hurt.
Yeah,
he's been hurt pretty much the whole season.
Yeah, so they're off to a rough start. They're not going to get a whole lot better.
No.
So.
Wow! Look at how much faith you guys had in the Kings.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Here we go.
Here we go. So the Kings' current record is 13-30. Again, this is all based off of halfway through the season. Right. I said 18 is that 23?
18-23.
Ooh, 5 more wins than I was projected. Zach said 16-25. That's pretty close.
That's not bad.
And Mike said, what is that? 18?
18.
And 22?
Yeah.
Ish? 23?
Yeah, so. Yeah.
Wow, that's bad. Like that puts them close to being 500, and they're not.
No, they're really
about 33.
Well, I really thought with Zach Randolph and their rookie.
Zach Randolph's has been doing good still, but all their young people. I was hoping they could turn it around.
Don't they have De'Aaron Fox?
Buddy Hield.
Yeah, I know.
Justin Jackson.
They'd be a little bit better than that.
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, based on their players, I thought.
I'm hoping for their sake, and which I'm looking forward to seeing this prospect finally be able to start the season, because he's been hurt this whole season because he hurt his leg. Is Harry Giles?
Oh yeah, he's a good rebounder. That'll help. I think.
Huh. Well,
that is another big center, and they might trade away Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, you never know. He hasn't lived up to his potential at all.
You know what's so funny is if you look back with the Pacers, whenever during that draft they were Larry Bird went to Willie Cauley-Stein and said, "You're a $100 million man. Wow. Like in the future, you're gonna get $100 million contract." Yeah. It's like really
maybe for 5 years.
For the $20 million a year, but
closer to $10 million, or 10 year, $100 million is what I would want to pay him. He has not lived up to that hype.
No.
Okay, moving on to the Memphis Grizzlies, 14-28.
Just want to point out that we all said it was up to the 2, and they got minus the 1. So
yep, my Conley's been hurt this whole season, and I forgot to put my name. Whoops.
That's okay. You did that on a few of them.
Yeah, I see my name's missing on the Lakers.
Whoops.
And my name's missing
on the Lakers also.
Oh, yours is missing on
I'm missing
Mavericks.
on the Mavericks. Yeah, and yours, Zach's missing on the Lakers.
Yep.
That's right.
Whoops.
Okay, so what team were we on? Oh, Grizzlies.
Grizzlies, 14-28. I said, what was that, 8? Oh, close. 19? 19.
Yeah,
19 and 21. Zach said...
so far, you've been +5 on every team.
Yeah.
19 for Zach again, also, but 21. Mike said 16.
17.
17.
18, yeah. 18
Yep.
and 24.
24. Wow.
So we all had a lot of faith. Well,
Again, Conley.
There's no doubt he'd been worth at least 5 more wins, probably. 5
Yep.
to 6. I mean,
Again, you're missing about at least 20 points and
game,
5 assists a game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were 5-0 with him. 4-1.
Before they were-
Oh, 4-1, because I remember at the beginning of the season, they were just like the
They're
Magic.
looking good.
They were looking tremendous. They were looking like a top-tier
He's
team
been out ever since.
ever since.
Really amazing. Yeah.
I can't help but smile at this next one.
Well,
40 and 42.
before we talk about that, Mike and I were watching the Grizzlies-Lakers game,
Oh yeah.
and they were going. The Grizzlies were going towards their bench, and that night saw Chandler Parsons and Mike Collins sitting on the bench. That's $51 million that are not playing right now.
Yeah, they're wearing their suit.
Suit.
Their dress.
Yep, $51 million.
Yeah, they spent a
Just
lot of
on the
money on
bench.
those 2 players, and they're not obviously playing, so that really killed. They won the game.
Yeah, they won the game, but
So it's against the Lakers, so that doesn't.
Mike Collins with 30 and Chandler Parsons with 21 million.
21 million. So they're spent a lot of money on 2 players that aren't even playing. So
No.
that's killed. They could have gotten 4 or 5 players for that.
Yep.
So
Okay, but anyways, I'll go ahead and get on to this one.
So let's see, how do you justify that?
And which I still live up to the hype. As you can tell through all the power rankings, I still believe in my Mavericks. They're at 15 and 29. I said they're going to be 20 and 21, which, yeah, that's pretty bad. Zach said 16 and 24?
Yeah,
That's not bad.
that's not bad.
No.
That's
Mike
Look at
said
this guy. Wow.
16 and
No,
20.
15 and
15.
26.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. Woo.
Wow.
Good guess on that one. Well,
Wow.
Dallas is an interesting team there. Nowitzki's on his last leg.
Oh,
That's my
yeah.
own thought on that.
Yep.
He's just doesn't have any legs left.
Yep.
Which, after 20 years, is understandable. Yogi Ferrell's starting, which is good. He's been playing pretty well.
Yep.
But
Dennis Smith Jr. is pretty. He's been hurt.
Has he been hurt
So
off and on?
off and on, he's been hurt. His legs, I guess, hurting quite a
They
bit.
don't
So
have really a go-to guy, though, do they? I don't know. if
Harrison
they have-
Barnes.
Harrison
Yeah.
Barnes. They
They
got him
overpaid-
from the Warriors.
They overpaid
and
him.
he was looking like a good player.
Yeah, I think they've overpaid. They
Oh, yeah,
overdid it on that
definitely.
one. He was a great role player for the.
Oh God, coming off the
Warriors.
bench, that was
And what he
that was
did,
pretty
is
nasty.
he took that great chemistry with his and turned it into a huge contract.
Yep.
Is what it did.
Yep.
He
I
wasn't
mean,
nearly the single
Whenever
player.
you got Curry and Clay distracting
you.
people on
Yeah.
the three-point line,
Yeah, open
you know,
three shot.
you're going to be open whenever
Yeah.
you're subpar to them.
Yeah, he's not the player of the team. You know what I'm saying? The guy that can
Yeah.
turn a whole team around by himself. So, but
Here's
Willie,
another good one.
Lakers.
Lakers 15 and 28. I said they're going to be 18 and 23. That's not
That's
too
not
That's a
off.
lot better than the other one.
Yeah, that's
Ooh, Zach was really close.
Oh, look at
14
that.
and
Wow.
27
Right
or
on.
22. Wow.
Right on.
27.
27. Wow. Right on the dot. Damn, that's pretty good. And then Mike said 16 and 26.
15.
15.
15 and 26.
Yeah, I'm right.
Wow.
Lakers,
So, yeah.
Lakers are fairly easy. Let's face it. They weren't going to be a
Projected
good
to
team
be
out the
good
bat,
team. Yep.
So,
I can't believe I
we
gave
all-
him 36 wins.
well, I
Ugh.
don't know if you thought maybe Ball was going to.
That's what I was listening to, because again I had to listen to the old podcast, and I said Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram are going to tear up the league and get them 10 more wins. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, live and learn.
Live and learn, live and learn. Okay, moving on to the Phoenix Suns, 16 and
You did a lot
28.
better on this
Oh
one.
yeah,
You
you're
did
the
a lot
closest
better.
one on this one.
Wow, look at
15 and 26. That was
Wow.
really close.
that. Yeah, good move.
Zach said 14 and
27.
27.
That's real good.
That's really close.
And I was the same. Yeah,
Yep, 14-27.
Yeah, Suns are the same thing. I mean, they weren't gonna be that
Yep.
good.
Yeah, some of the games that they've won, whoops,
Oh, you're good.
are just they could have lost easily, and
Yeah.
vice versa.
And as I was talking, my girlfriend and I watched the Phoenix Suns game.
Who were they playing?
The Suns.
against,
The Suns. The
I mean,
other
against
night.
the Pacers?
The other night.
Against
Yeah,
Pacers.
Pacers.
Okay.
Who are the Phoenix Suns playing? The Suns.
The Suns.
The
The
Suns.
Suns. The Suns. You know.
Phoenix
The
is playing
Suns.
the Suns.
Yeah. let's
And
play. Okay.
she,
Just-
they were
just
missing their
saying,
shots.
Pacers killed it.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
That was an excellent game.
But well, go ahead. Suns-
Kaylee was saying she saw them missing shots all the time and not passing the ball, and she goes, "They're pretty bad." And I said, "They're one of the worst teams you can watch.
Yeah.
They'll make anybody look good. That's how bad they are." And Devin Booker has that Kobe mentality that
Come
I
down,
gotta
shoot.
shoot that ball the minute I get it.
Instead of passing the ball like
Yep.
he should. Yeah.
They're
He probably
going
thinks nobody else can score besides me.
with the Pacers. We say they live and die by the Lance.
Yeah.
They're live and die by the Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Really, to be honest, because with Lance, his passing ability is one of the best in the league.
Whereas Booker
doesn't even pass.
Yeah.
And so they really do live and by him because there's T.J. Warren has really came into his own for being how young he is, but overall the team is just not there, and
Yeah.
they won't be there for a while.
Well, you got Alex Len as your one of your centers, and Tyson Chandler's getting pretty old now.
Yeah, he's getting really old. Greg Monroe, who's going to probably get bought out or traded
he'll
here
get
soon.
traded. They don't have a lot to offer right now.
No.
Kind of shaky.
Dragon Bender is starting to show his potential. He's only 20 years old. He's
Yeah.
starting to shoot threes quite often now. He's really getting good at it, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we all kind of bit the farm on this.
Oh
one.
yeah, we
Wow.
underestimated the Brooklyn Nets, didn't we?
11 and 30 for Kyle.
Yep.
And there's
10 and 31. And Mike
8.
said they're not gonna win another game
Neither is
for
the same.
40. What is that?
Yeah.
38 games.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose straight.
Oh, and 38.
I won 38.
Wow,
Wow.
I don't know what we were thinking about on that one. What was
I-
our deal about the Nets?
They don't have anybody.
Yeah. They got Spencer Dinwiddie. He's playing.
Oh, he's hard to play.
He's playing well.
I don't know why.
Alan Crabb and his $24 million contract.
Yep,
Yeah.
and he's starting to shoot pretty well
And
decently now.
They got LeVert.
LeVert is really came into his own.
And who else?
They've just got a bunch of above decent players.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rondae Hollis-Jefferson starting to
And,
get
and they're able to beat these shitty teams.
Yep.
that are
Who's their
under-
center?
It's Jared Allen and Tyler Zeller.
Zeller.
Tyler Zeller, who
So,
not
yeah.
Cody, but Tyler.
Yeah. So they're playing above their expectations. At least from us, they are.
But with me, I listened to the podcast again for a look at what we were projected for our record, and I pointed out something pretty well is that the Cavs, well, it was at the time the Celtics, but now the Cavs have is their first round pick of this year, and if it
Brooklyn
doesn't,
Nets,
if it doesn't pan out to where it's a top protected pick, then it goes to the following year. So they might as well have tanked this year and make it where they can get rid of the pick this year, and then the following year have their
first
pick.
So they lose their pick. Oh, yeah.
Yep, but that's on them. If they're willing to allow the Cavs have their pick the following year,
I mean, that'll give them their first
they're gonna
round
pick this year.
if
That's
they
true,
lose
and
their
I heard
pick.
that the draft this year is really
College players are
deep.
better. Yeah,
Yep,
college
Trey Young, I guess, is an excellent young player, point guard.
You know that. Yeah. Also, the Nets are going to get better. Well, you'll think they'll get better with.
D'Angelo Russell,
Coming back.
Jeremy
Yeah, I mean,
Lin
what's
coming
he-
back.
Yeah.
It's
He's
not
out for
bad.
the season, but
Yeah,
but isn't D'Angelo will come back this?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're talking
They're going to end up
like
with
yep.
in the 30s. I would think they'll end up in the 30s as far as wins.
Mhm.
So they're going to be way above what we projected, double what I have, and maybe. Well, at least, like I said, in the 30s.
Yep.
They definitely will.
Okay, Chicago Bulls 17-27. I said 14 and
Like
15.
15.
Yeah, 15.
Six-
Yeah, half of 31.
yes,
15.
about 16ish.
Yeah.
And then was that 20,
6?
26?
25, 26. Yeah.
25, 26?
So
That's
yeah,
a-
that's pretty good. That's close. Yeah.
18 and
That's real
23,
That's real close.
and 19 and 22 for Mike.
Yeah, we were all pretty good on that.
Really play close.
Yeah.
And what's so funny, I've listened to the podcast again, and we didn't even mention Lauri Markkanen.
Really? Yeah, we didn't think.
No,
much.
he was an unknown.
We
Yeah.
didn't really know much about it.
When
I've
we were
never
talking
seen
about
him play.
Dwayne Wade and how he's going to get traded or bought out back then. He did get bought out.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got that?
Now he's on the Cavs.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
And-
we knew that he wasn't going to stick around with the Bulls.
And
now
then after he got bought out, we were projecting them to be back then. Again, it was this record, but
Yeah.
they're actually turning their season around.
I mean, if you think about it, they were 3 and 20.
20.
So
They're
14 and
and
7, like that's not
That's
even
pretty
close
damn good.
to how we
Now they
thought
got
they were
Zach
gonna-
LaVine.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
he
turning it
played well.
up.
Yeah.
Playing well.
15 points his first night, and how many did he get? I think like
18.
18
I think he had
last night or something
Yeah,
like that?
he had 18. And also, Mirotic, yes, I've heard, you may have mentioned that he wants to get traded.
he wants to get traded still. Yep.
But he's been playing well, so I don't know. He can't get on Bobby Portis.
I think I would trade Bobby Portis over
I would
him.
trade Portis too.
if he doesn't-
Mirotic is a better player.
Yeah, if Mirotic wants to stay on the team, like I would
Trade
trade
Portis.
Portis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he wanted to get traded, but he didn't specify
So-
if Portis got traded. He
He would
wanted to
stay
get
with the
traded.
Bulls,
Stay
right?
with
Well,
the
yeah,
Bulls.
because it's hard to be like it's either him
Him or me, yeah.
Yep.
on a social media
Right.
type of thing.
Yep.
But they could easily end up. They'll definitely end up in the 30s. They'll end up 30, probably 36 or something, maybe 35, 36. Zach's record right there.
They actually might even end up in the 40s.
They might.
Like,
the way they're playing.
I mean,
yeah.
2-1
Wins.
loss.
They've got
in
44
recent
games
weeks.
now. They got 40. No, they got 38 more.
Everybody's getting healthy and starting to play.
So even if they
again.
went 500, they would end up at 36.
Yeah.
So the rest of the way, if they go more, so they'll end up at 40s. I think they may end up at 40.
You
Which
know
would be
what's-
pretty amazing.
know
Until
what's-
he started.
What's really crazy is I text Mike and Zach. I don't think I heard from Zach, but actually I didn't really hear from either of you. But I heard a rumor that the Bulls and the Jazz are talking about a trade.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that
For
for
who?
Derek Favors.
Derek Favors for Mirotic.
No, yeah, I'd keep Mirotic.
I'd rather keep Mirotic myself, but this is a rumor I've
Yeah.
heard that it was
That'd be
a
kinda
swap.
like
those
that'd be
two,
kinda
nothing
a weird
else
trade.
to it.
It's
Yep.
kinda a weird
I don't
trade.
think it really benefits either team.
Yeah.
Because
Well, like you said though, if Mirotic wants to get traded, they had to get something. You got to get something for him that's kind of at least of equal or better value.
I mean,
but
I guess
Yeah.
after the way Favors played in the game against the Pacers, I mean,
he started off great.
yeah,
but
and
then
he
he
fell
just-
apart.
Yeah, he fell down.
But him and Gobert together, I feel like make such a
Much-
strong defense
Much
in
better.
that paint.
Much better.
Oh yeah, Derek Favors and him. Yeah.
And with Mirotic, you don't have that.
No, he's not a
You
defensive
have
player.
another shooter, which
Yeah,
they
that'd be
kinda-
pretty interesting
they
to see.
could use, but
I'm more not seeing Mirotic on the Jazz
I
because
think
that
that
make him
would-
an interesting.
I think it would hurt
Deep
the I think
three-point
that would
shooter.
hurt the Bulls.
That would hurt him a lot.
because the Favors doesn't
No,
shoot
shoot
the
threes,
three-pointer.
no.
He's kind of half
yeah, I mean,
shaky on
he would
defense.
be
Yeah.
playing the exact same thing
Yep.
as
As,
Bobby Portis.
Portis,
and
yeah.
Bobby Portis doesn't play that
neither of
much.
them are centers, so I don't
No.
know. It's kind of a shaky. Actually, Markkanen doesn't play center either.
No.
He's a forward. Shoots a three.
Yep.
So really,
He's
Lopez
the
is their center.
fastest player to 100 3-pointers in the history.
Really?
I saw that.
Markkanen is?
Yep.
Wow, that's tremendous. He's a rookie. That's amazing. He's a good player.
He's really tall, 1'6",
He's 7'10",
7, 7 foot.
I don't know. I think
He's at least
somewhere in there.
yeah.
6'10" to 7
I
foot.
can shoot three-pointer like nothing to it. Yeah.
But hopefully, for his sake, he doesn't start to become like Porzingis, where his
Yeah,
body starts to
that's-
ache
yeah.
too much.
yeah.
But he calls it tired, that was a whole different subject. That man, that was stupid on
Yeah, I know.
his part. You don't say
Porzingis,
that,
yeah.
really. Okay.
I definitely think these two teams are going to switch. Like, I like our rating or
I see what you're saying.
win-loss for them, for the Bulls.
I think the Bulls could be, where Kyle said
Hornets.
40-42. All of us, yeah.
Like,
You're right.
the Hornets they're not playing good.
Nearly as well as you thought they would. Go ahead, tell us the record.
I'll tell you this, and then I'm going to tell you a factor that is pretty key that is why they might have been losing so much. Charlotte Hornets are 17-25. I said 20-21. Zach said 20, pretty much in 20. And Mike said 21-20.
Yeah.
And the factor that is key is they're missing Steve Clifford for 21 games.
Yeah, as their coach.
As their coach. That hurts. I know he'd probably lose a good chunk, but I would think at least get 5 more wins.
Maybe
put him
out
at
of
22 wins instead.
I'm kind of disappointed. I thought Kimball Walker would be worth at least 5 wins. Yeah.
All I've heard about is Dwight Howard.
He's turning it up.
15.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's playing better than everybody on the
team. Yep.
Yeah. Kimball Walker, I don't know if he's just maybe. See, I haven't watched enough of their games, but he's still a good player probably. But he's just not the kind of guy we've talked about that can lead the team. Which the way he played in college, he led his teams to victory.
Yep.
Pros, it gets a little bit because you're always facing somebody that's really good.
Yep.
So
when he first came in the league, he went his rookie year. They had the worst record, I think, 7 wins only.
Probably,
the whole season.
It was on that short season.
Short season. Right. Yep. And then the following season, they were still pretty bad. And then he started to get better every year for a couple years there. And
they were in the hunt for the number 1 picks every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So Kimball Walker, but surrounding him with players is important. You got Dwight Howard now, but who else do they have? So Cody Zeller's been out.
Jeremy Lamb's starting to get better.
But they only have like C+
players.
Yes.
Yep, Michael K. Gilchrist, Marvin Williams.
I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but
all these teams.
The point is, it's so hard unless you get like 3 or 4 good. You can't. These teams all have like 1 player, maybe not even 1.
Not even 1.
They're all short of good players.
Yep.
Grizzlies are the only team that
could have had
2 B
legitimate players. Yeah.
Yep.
The rest of these guys are. I know.
1 B- and then a bunch of C's.
Yeah. We watched. Kyle and I watched that Laker game versus the Grizzlies, and it was some of the worst basketball I've ever seen because I didn't even know who these players were, other than Marcus Saul and
Tyreek Evans.
Yeah, Tyreek Evans. He looked professional, but he's getting older now, and
he's back to how he was.
His rookie year.
He's still not anywhere near how he was.
A+, well, right. So you can see when you watch these teams that you need. I mean, it's pretty obvious you need good players.
Yeah.
But coaching, I don't care who your coach is. If you're the best coach, Luke Walton is supposedly a great coach because he coached the Warriors.
Yeah.
Won all those games. Well, he had great players.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Durant.
Draymond
Green. Did he have Kevin Durant that time? Last year?
I don't think so.
Was it last year? No, it was 2 years ago. Yeah,
right.
So he didn't have Kevin Durant, but he had Draymond Green.
Players on this team.
Klay Thompson,
Klay Thompson, Iguodala.
Oh, yeah, you just shoot that 3 ball and just let him watch.
You can let him play. Let him play. Now, these teams you have to coach.
Yep.
Because I have to watch that game last night, Grizzlies and Lakers. Those guys are so young, they don't even really know how to play basketball.
No.
I mean, they don't even know how to pass.
There's only so much a coach
can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, there was one play where Jordan Clarkson, they had inbound the ball, and he watched the ball.
Oh, yeah, he was going to
wait. And then I think it was Dylan Brooks just came over and picked up the ball from him, and he didn't pick up or anything. He just letting the time.
He's waiting to grab it, and then
a little bit later on. Yep.
But instead of looking up to see where the players were,
he just grabbed the ball.
Dylan Brooks did, and then shot and got fouled.
Yep.
But it was such a typical play, though, of a young team that isn't quite ready. Well, they're not even ready yet to be a winning team.
Yep.
And you can just see it. There's no veterans. If they are veterans, they're so old or they're not the best veterans. So
they're not leader veterans, teacher veterans. They're just older.
We're all Pacer fans here. There's no Al Jefferson that can sit on the bench and help coach.
Yep, mentor. Yep,
that's a different story. We
we went to the Pacer game against the Bucks, and we saw Al Jefferson literally walking Miles Turner through how to do an up and under.
Yeah,
up and under, yep.
yeah.
Up and under, and how to
on
just
these teams,
post,
they have to play. These
Yep.
guys that are the mentors
Yep.
because they have nobody else that can play on the team.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is... Yeah, I think this is good for us to go over these updates, because it could kind of... It shows that we're a little more optimistic, of course, than what they turned out to be. But I think it's good. I like us going over this.
I'm kind of curious to see where the middle pack
ones,
is.
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Because
I feel like we were super optimistic on some of them in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the Knicks, I was listening earlier,
Yeah.
and I was apparently talking about Knicks being one of the bottom 2 teams.
Right.
So
We know.
that might be a thing.
and then of course the top 10 teams will more than likely. I think we might
closer. Yeah,
a little bit
we'll have that
closer.
But yeah, optimism is pretty much it's easier. Let's face it. Other than my stupid pick on the Brooklyn Nets, well, all three of us, we really didn't do too bad because
we were optimistic about the teams.
Well, yeah, because I mean, they're young. To me, young teams should have a little bit better chance because they can at least run up and down the court and score. But
Yep.
these guys are playing so bad. Orlando's young. Well, all these teams are fairly young. I don't think it's really old teams, but they should be playing better than what they are. They're just not scoring.
I think our problem in future videos is going to be, we're going to say that teams didn't lose enough because there's so many teams that are just losing. Like, there's so many even
Middle,
teams.
right in the middle. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're even going to be off on the Warriors because the Warriors have already lost 9 games.
They've lost more games than they did.
I'm pretty sure we were all floating around 10, 12.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like-
you're right. You're right. It's going to be fun to watch. Yeah, look at that and see how they did.
Well, that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this podcast right here. On next week's, we are doing the power rankings. I think we're like what we talked about with here is we're halfway through the season. I think we're starting to get to the part where we're starting to settle where we know the teams are going to do this well, this bad. So there's only a couple teams that are going to be surprising, like the Bulls, for instance.
Right.
But
they may move up into the next tier of the
teams going
middle
on
10.
win streaks
Yeah.
affects a lot.
Most of these teams, I don't know if they're going to go on win streaks other than the
No,
Bulls. Maybe.
losing streaks more of
You
like
can tell
magic.
the Bulls are a different team than the rest of these guys. There's really...
If you look at all these teams other than the Bulls, I mean, none of them will go on a 7-game.
If you cut it to the last 10 games versus the whole beginning of the season, the Bulls would be the only one on this list that have even remotely close to a positive record for those 10 games.
Yeah, you're right.
14 wins they've gotten. 14 like I said, 14-7.
That's really good.
And now they got Levine, so they're going to be one of the best teams. I think they'll be in the playoffs. They're going. That's what the goal is.
Maybe go like 20-10 in the next 30 games.
Playoffs for the East is a really rough fight right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're all but they're moving up there. They're getting up there. They're only.
I mean, and whenever everybody's healthy and they start meshing completely together, it might be a thing.
That's why I don't know if they should try to trade Miritich or not. That would change everything because that would bring somebody new in. That would affect the chemistry.
Scheme and chemistry.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's a smart move or not. Trade Portis.
Yeah, I would definitely trade Portis if Miritich is okay with staying.
Yes. He's a lot better choice.
Before we end this podcast, the Clippers, I am looking forward to talking about because they're only 3 games away from being the 5th seed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who would ever thought that? They beat the Rockets last night.
Yep.
Yeah. So
No, they're only 2 games because they're at 20 wins, and then the OKC is at 22 wins, so they're that close already.
Wow.
They were being one of the worst teams too.
The Heat until they lost. They were 1 game behind the Cavs.
Cavs, yep.
Yeah.
For 3rd seed.
They've come on
that's
like
ridiculous.
crazy. Yeah.
And then they lost to, who'd they lose to?
Someone awful.
Was it the Hawks?
Mm.
I don't know if it was that bad.
No, they lost to somebody pretty bad. Yeah, I remember now thinking. I can't believe they lost.
Speaking of records, The Pacers are only two and a half games behind Cleveland for the third seed.
Yeah, they're going to be maybe in first.
If we tie with them, we get the higher seed because we beat them 3-1.
Yep. Well, 3-0 right now.
3-0 right now, so we have one more game.
So it doesn't matter if we lose to them because
we have
a
better record
against them.
So we would be the third seed. They'd be the fourth seed.
Yeah.
If we were to tie with them.
Be nice not to have to play them in the playoffs.
I'd be so ecstatic if we can get anything above. Well, what did we get last year? 7th seed. I want to say we got the 7th seed last year.
Who do we play? Cleveland.
Did we play?
Yeah,
we played
got the
Cleveland.
7th seed.
Yeah. I wanted to get anything above.
Because I was so pissed because I thought we could beat Boston,
right?
And we jumped up to the 7th
seed,
and then Cleveland fell. I was like, "Are you serious?"
That's right. We should be.
If we can get 6 or above, anything above 6 or above, I want to see us get that because Paul George was the guy to go to, and he was he's our player. Now we got a team.
Chemistry, right.
So. For us to get a 6th seed would be awesome, just to prove that we don't need Paul George.
That's right.
Oh, it was the Bulls.
Wow. Well,
okay. The Bulls,
so maybe that's
not a terrible team. But
no, just showing the
Bulls. How good the Bulls are playing, though.
Yeah, they beat the Heat. Yep,
they beat the 4th-ranked team.
They're playing. Heat's playing unbelievable basketball right now.
And
in fact, that's our only loss we've had in the last
5 games. Yep, 6 games, 5-1 right now.
And it was 90% because Turner wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whiteside had a double-double almost
right.
in the
first quarter.
Yeah.
I think he was 10 and 8.
Yeah. So but they're playing well.
Playing exceptional.
Yeah.
And then Philly and what was it? Philly and Toronto. That was a good game. I heard.
Oh, last night.
Philly, Joel Embiid had 30 points and 15 rebounds.
Yeah.
He tore it up.
Yeah. I think it was only 12.
12 rebounds,
Who won the game? Philadelphia?
Philadelphia, yeah. They went to Toronto and beat them.
That just tells you a little bit about Philadelphia. I mean, you'd think...
They should be.
I know, but they don't win games. They win games against good teams, but they lose games against worse teams.
They got Markelle Fultz in practice again. So
yep.
Yeah.
I've
heard stories about him. He can't shoot, though, right now.
That's what it was. It was a shooting practice, so
yeah, we'll
maybe.
see.
I watched a video with Markelle Fultz, and before they put him pretty much on, showed him being injured, his shoulder was so deformed, and it just looked ugly. It looked so bad, separated shoulder, and when he was shooting the ball during games, it just looked awful.
Oh, okay.
And so that's the reason why he's been out. Is that he had to have a cortisone shot or something like that in his shoulder, and he's had to develop his shoulder back to being normal again. So, okay, guys, I think we're gonna call it right there, and we'll see you guys later.